Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, a rescue cat, and a rescue guinea pig who likes to craft in her spare time, has graduated with her degree in ESL interpreting, and is trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and grab a drink, hit the like and subscribe button, sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could greatly use that. And if you are a returning friend, welcome back. You already know the crazy you're in for, so grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Okay. Business is booming. So I've been really focusing on small goals. I'm really trying to take those nuggets of information that I have learned and implement them into my daily life. Is it perfect? No. If you're new here, you will know that perfection is nothing I strive for. It's not. Is progress something I strive for? Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, things don't need to be perfect, but you need to keep trying and to continue on. You will also notice if you're new here to my station, to my channel, if you're new here to the crazy, that the wall in the background is never painted. 99% of the time, the kids have not done their chores and done the dishes, and it's the boy child's turn. And that oftentimes I will throw signs in as I communicate with you. So we also put the life stuff up front. This weekend coming up is StitchCon. I'm so excited on so many levels, and then there's certain points where I'm like, oh my God, it's just a weekend. I am not ready. What the heck? And then I'm really hoping that this is not the 3rd year in a row, because it's my 3rd year going to StitchCon, that I come back with COVID. I'm really hoping. Fingers crossed, because, twice is enough. I mean, I've had COVID 4 times now since the whole COVID thing started. And I got RSV right before New Year's Eve this year. So, I really am done being sick. If you're not familiar with me, I get sick a lot. I have basically no immune system. So, yeah. Do I know what I'm taking to StitchCon? No. Other than the periodic table, I really and truly have not settled on anything else that I'm taking. Would it be horrible if I take that back, and the 4th of July rules? Would it be horrible if that's the only 2 things I took? No, it would not. Is that reality for me? No, because if you're not, if you've been around here for even 5 minutes, you've probably figured out I have ADHD. I don't monogamously stitch on anything. Like, I get in zones where it may seem like I'm almost monogamous, but I'm not really. So yeah. Have I worked on my WIPCO calls? No. So yeah. So I have been focusing on small chunks around the house of things to do. And so I retackled the bathroom because I had a pipe under my sink. They're PVC pipes and they're supposed to be glued together. Well, the glue had given way and it had separated, and we didn't realize that because storage here is kind of limited. And so I had a bunch of stuff in there, so we didn't realize it. So I had to clear that out. So I cleaned out that. I must have thrown out probably about 90% of what was under there. And do I feel guilty? I did at first. I'm going to be honest. I did at first. And then I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to feel guilty about it. It is not like I can recuperate the money that's already spent. And some of it was just like given to me kind of thing. It's just sitting down there weighing me down, weighing down my spirit, weighing down myself, making me feel guilty because my house is cluttered and stuff. And I finally said, no, we're not doing that. So I literally threw out probably about 90 to 95% of what was underneath my bathroom sink. Yep. I also started to tackle my son's room with him last weekend. I'm not sure if this last week. I think we did it on Wednesday. It's not done. Is there a lot of progress? Absolutely. It was very frustrating, and I had to stop myself and so that we didn't do it with yelling. So we didn't do it out of anger. That we just kind of went in and said, okay, enough. And so my son had been telling me, I don't go into my kids' rooms. They're adults. I don't go into them until there's a need. I'm a big firm believer, even when they were smaller, that your room needs to be yours, your personal safe space. Growing up, I didn't have that. And so I really wanted to make sure that my kids, like it would be nothing for me to go to school or go to my dad's for the weekend when he was around and come home and my mother had just like trash bagged my entire room and I had nothing left. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was some special thing I was working on or anything. It was just gone. I never want my children to have that because then I think you either stopped caring about stuff and you got attached to nothing because you never know when it was going to disappear, or you hoarded everything because you finally had stuff that was yours that nobody could take away. And I didn't want my kids to have that burden of either end. And I know that some of you who have been around my channel for a long time know that my ex-husband is a hoarder. And so, always trying to call that. And my mother also has hoarding tendencies. So and then I just have a lot of ADHD and trauma. So not a good combination. So I've been really trying to focus on like small manageable chunks. I don't need to do the whole room. Maybe I do a 2-foot by 2-foot section, or maybe I, clean off one shelf or whatever. And so that's what we've been trying to do. And in the process, also finishing up household projects because it's been a 7-year project, this place. That's kind of just when I think I'm like making strong progress, something happens and we end up having to redo something. So it has been one of those sort of missions. So we tackled much of the boy child's room. So that was a big thing. Did I get it? So yeah, so it's been a good week. It's been busy at the office. I've been really trying to focus on, honestly, getting out. That like I've had some paperwork I've had to take care of. I have a bunch more paperwork. I've got 2 clients in the last couple of days with big cases that have required emergency motions and things like that. So we've been doing that. So it's been a lot, and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Last night I met with my cohort. We met with our mentors and one of our professors for dinner and just had a really, really nice time. Was it all of us? No. Did I debate going? Yes. We had originally going to go to a restaurant called Buca di Beppo's. It's Italian family style. So I even called. There was essentially nothing I was going to be able to eat. I was fine with that. I was just going to go have a Coke, socialize, take my leave. It wasn't a big deal. I was prepared. Because even the salads, they like pre-make in advance. And they're like, well, we can just take off the croutons. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's not how that works. And so we ended up getting there, and they mismanaged our reservation, and we didn't get the big round table, and it was so hot in the restaurant. We were all like, this is not great. Like, and the way they had us seating, we couldn't see each other. Like, it was crazy. So we ended up going to the restaurant next door, which was Black Rock, and they handled our tables great. We ended up at 2 big booths right next to each other, and it was delicious. And everybody got stuff that they really enjoyed, and just really had a good time. So I was so glad I went. I was able to interpret for 3 of my mentors in ordering their food and figuring out what they needed and what they were drinking and all of this other stuff. It was funny because our one mentor ordered a drink, and the my one student who my one classmate who doesn't drink at all. She's very religious. She doesn't drink at all. Um, went to try and explain it to the guy, and I was like, I don't think that's what my mentor is signing. And so I asked my mentor, I was like, "You're drinking what?" And he tells me, I'm like, and so we fixed his order and we got it straightened out. But the problem is she didn't understand what he was ordering was a rum and Diet Coke, which is my drink of choice. If I'm going to have a drink, that's what I'm going to drink. And he was asking what kind of rum, and she did, and he was naming like, do they have this kind? Do they have this kind? And she didn't understand it because she doesn't drink. She has no frame of reference for that. And that's one of those times where experience helps. Um, I was like, no, they have Bacardi, they have, and I read off the list that she's saying, and I'm finger spelling them, and she's like, how do you know that? And I was like, experience. Like, so we fixed this drink order, we got it all handled. Then we ended up when we moved over, we went through everything that we wanted, and I got all the finger spelling. The one time I had to have it repeated once, and wasn't a big deal. Um, because then the other mentor who was sitting at us ordered a drink, and Farron, who's amazing interpreter and signer and with finger spelling, was struggling with it too. And we're like, oh, what? And you're second guessing yourself because you don't know what it is, and you don't want to screw it up because this is what somebody's going to have to drink or eat. So it was, but we had a great time. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so um, we have no shopping, no shopping. Um, I one of the things I'm going to do in the next couple of days is put together some of the specialty flosses that I need for Lady Justice, and I don't know. I don't know. I know Lady Justice needs a few things. Um, needs a few like petite treasure bays and things like that because she's gonna be sparkly. She's gonna be glittery. Um, and then I know I need to print off the pattern from Alforest that I bought. That it says the cucumber harvest sampler, but I call it the pickle sampler, and I want to brighten it up and take out so much yellow. I'm not a big like yellow. Like, oddly enough, I'm a cool tones person. I will stitch all day long in blues. I love blue, like blues of the ocean, like that cool water. Like, yes, please, every day, all day. I'm not a big fan of the warmer tones, which is funny because people who are very close to me love those tones. So a lot of my stitching ends up being in those tones because I stitch for people I love. But I do want to brighten up that sampler and make it a little bit more green. Um, so I know that's one that I want to take. I would need to print off. And then I have a couple of charts that I want to pick up fabric for if I can. But I'm not looking to I'm not looking to buy a whole bunch while I'm there because I honestly don't need much. I don't really need anything except for to be able to finish the patterns I'm working on. So we're all good. Okay. Um, okay. Hang on one second. How do I think I'm paying for 2 Adobe accounts. I need to figure this out. Um, okay. So we have no haul right now. Next week, yes, we will have things. I don't have any Stitchy Kindness, which is fine. Um, Again, I'm not participating in the smalls. I am trying to come up with something fun, like maybe Michigan themed, that I can pick up this week for my peeps. My peeps. But I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to stress about it. It will all work out. Okay, so what did I work on? I worked on. There are still days where I don't have it. Like I'm like, nah, don't really want to stitch. Then there's other days where I get a hair on me. I was like, that's all I want to stitch out. Like it's a certain project. That's it. I will likely take Monopoly with me. I know I need to work on Monopoly for WIPGO this month, but I haven't worked on it yet. Also, my WIPGOs are for the year, so while hang on one second. Hang on, it's under my WIPGO board is under. Well, I thought it was. Here it is. Okay. So my WIPGO board I do by the year, so it's not a big deal. So I have started working on other squares. And just like the periodic table was called last month. I did those stitches. It was not called for this month. But it's one of those that I always take with me to StitchCon. So, because at this point, it doesn't really require a whole lot of counting. And it's only 310. Like I'm still only working on the 310 part. I have started working on some of the other squares. But like my first June block, I had already finished the other month, like I said, and Monopoly is the other June block. So I likely will take Monopoly with me. We'll see. Stay tuned for next week when I show you what I actually took and worked on. Okay, so in here, so I start the third drop now. If you're new here, I don't stay up on stitch-alongs at all. Like sometimes I'm kind of close, but rarely. Which is why many of my whips are sales from 2021, which I find funny. Oh, by the way, I'm on steroids again, which is not helping anything either. It is tearing up my gut. It is throwing off my sleep pattern. It's just a hot mess. So, I joined the Lola Crow Poisonous Aquarium, Deadly Aquarium sale for Bean. I am stitching it on a piece of 36 count glacier from Bee Stitch Me. I actually won this piece of fabric. It's glorious. It's so pretty. And then my daughter saw this sale and we thought, like, she picked the fabric. So I was glad that I didn't have to order more fabric because cross stitch fabric is expensive. It's crazy. Okay. So I'm still working on the frame. They just dropped the third part. What didn't help was the other day I realized that I had miscounted and I was like, I am not like y'all. So it went into timeout, as I said. Well, I figured it out and it actually was a really easy fix. I had stitched the brown up too far. I honestly, I just stitched over them. The couple stitches that needed to be, I didn't bother to take them out and fiddle with it. I just stitched over them. But then I ended up finishing the rest of this doohickey that will hold the sign. And then I got more of the frame, more of this done over here. So again, had I known, and I think in the future, if I look back at some of her other sales, she puts out the frame, which is great. And then she starts hers like building her scene from the lower right corner. Well, I don't stitch like that usually. Like it takes a lot for me to start down there. I don't know why. I'm either in the middle if you're trying to figure out like spacing on fabric or upper left hand. So I can't put in the 3 the coral and the pufferfish and the moray eel because it's on the other side and I don't have the frame, so I don't know where exactly they go. But at least I got it's out of timeout. It's out of timeout. The other part of this is with the 36 count, I stitch in hand, which is fine. I think I need to replace my light bulbs up here because unless it's like first thing in the morning and it's like bright in here, I have a really hard time seeing the holes and being able to like juggle it all. So I think I just need to, and I'm looking at my lighting and it's pretty bad. So we need to fix that, but that's not going to happen today. Okay, so then the next up is Lady Justice by Mirabilia. She's so I did actually start Lady of the Flag, and I have Queen of Freedom. I thought I had Queen of Peace. I apparently don't. So does one of my friends have Queen of Peace that they will share with me? Please, please, because then I have the 4 ladies. So I am doing a conversion on her. I mean, she's beautiful as she is, but she's not the colors I wanted her. Because I'm persnickety. So I am doing it on a piece of 32 count heroic Lugana from Picture This Plus. And I will say that I love this fabric. Although right now, yeah, and you're never going to see anything ironed from me. Like, okay, if you're counting on things being ironed when I pull them out of a bag, not going to happen. If you're counting on a whole lot of FFOs, not going to happen. I wish, but not probably going to happen. Okay, so heroic is this beautiful taupey. It's a warm taupe color, and then it's got the reds and blues in it. And honestly, okay, here's the other thing. Does anybody have a picture, like a cross stitch of retro, like a good Wonder Woman? I think I want to add Wonder Woman to not to the same wall because that would be funky, but I think I want to stitch Wonder Woman. Okay, so she will fit she's going to take up most of this piece of fabric. It's a fat quarter. It's a quarter yard. She's going to fit most of it. So as you can tell, I'm doing a conversion of blacks and purples. So that's her little that's her booty is in here. So I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I cannot wait to get more of the sparkly threads because that's like right now I think I'm at some spots where that's what it's called for and I don't have those. So, but we're going to get them. We're going to get them. Okay. This is the piece that honestly, out of all the pieces I have, between this one and my new start, which I'll show you, is probably where I've spent most of my time. Don't ask me the count. Don't ask me the fabric. I don't know, other than it's definitely an even weave. Other than that, I don't have a clue. That is my Wonderful World of Oz that I'm stitching for a friend of mine. I love this piece so much. So I came in here and I've done a lot of what will be the pages to the book, as you can tell. Ooh, that showed up good. And then so this part is stitched 2 over 2. And there's some back stitching that needs to be done that I haven't done, but whatever. We all know how I feel about back stitching. It sucks. Okay. So then I'm doing 1 over 1 for the Brooks Books characters to go around it. So I got the Scarecrow's torso all done, and his head is mostly done. He's so cute. I don't know that. Jessica, are we still singing Cotton Eye Joe when we see him? So my thought is there are 12 characters. And ideally, I would be doing 2 characters a month to still get this done in time for Christmas, including this month. because that would give me December to finish the back stitching and get it framed. I know, we're pushing like, welcome to my show, where deadlines are just theoretical. They're just theoretical. Okay, so the other piece that I worked on is Kay and Dennis. Kay and Dennis are a friend of mine's parents, and this is a gift for his mom. We are making progress. It's slow. Whoever designed this piece really sucks, because she didn't think about all of the confetti, because it was a bad picture to begin with, but it was the only picture, and it's her favorite picture. And then you run it through the program, and look, the more confetti you have means the more shade you have, and detail is going to be a little bit finer. Let's all just admit to that, right? Yeah. So the designer, I'm the designer, wasn't thinking clearly, and so it takes a lot of concentration, especially with face, and you've got two faces. It's a lot of confetti. So here's where we're at. So I did add some more in his face and his head. I think this is his hair kind of coming in. Kay is all done up until where her shirt kind of comes, well, to her neck, to about here, her face is. And then then she's got a shirt on and stuff. And it's more oranges, all the orange. I'm pretty sure every single shade of DMC orange is in this pattern. I'm pretty sure. And we all know, if you don't know how I feel about orange, go back and check a couple episodes when I was stitching Rosie. Okay. So we're working on Dennis's head and the jacket. So this is as wide as the piece gets. So I could theoretically trim my fabric, but I'm not, because we all know that Kelly has issues with that kind of thing. So we're just gonna ride with it being bigger and longer. Okay. So I started something new because why not? This will end up being a gift for, well, I may have showed it to you last week. This will end up, I think I showed it to you last week. This is going to be a gift for my friend Emily. It is by Kooky Designs. She's not on Etsy. She has her own website. And this is the traditional Quaker FT. It has Morse code built into it, which I love. Okay. Let's just say that this is going to be a gift for my friend Emily, and I started it because Pride Month. I am using Threadworks Bradley's balloons, which is, I think, Threadworks 1175. I had one skein. I've had it for forever. It felt like forever. It's not been forever. It's been a couple years though that I've had one skein. So this is the other thread I have to pick up at StitchCon. Hopefully Keepsakes will have like 2 skeins of it. Otherwise I'll have to order it online, whatever. We all know it will happen. I am stitching it X by X in order to get you the variegation that you see. Threadworks already comes pre-cut, which in some ways is good, and in some ways it's annoying, because sometimes, like, to me, like, the lengths seem a little short, especially if I was to double over my strand, especially, to me, they would be super short. And I think that's why I get frustrated with the Zimmerman coverlet, because I'm doing Threadworks, not Bradley's balloons, a different Threadworks color for the Zimmerman coverlet. Now on the Zimmerman coverlet, I still have been like row stitching, which makes the colors a little bit muddy, and I regret that. Do I regret it enough to restart it? No. Do I wish I had realized and put in the time to stitch it one by one? Yes, and I think I would have liked it a lot better. Okay, so back to this. So this is Threadworks. I believe it's 1175. It is Bradley's balloons, if anybody is looking for it. So the Morse code that is in here spells out a word that starts with F, ends in K, is 4 letters. and then our former president. If you don't like that, that's fine. Then don't buy this pattern. Am I having fun stitching this pattern? Absolutely. Do I think it's even funnier because, or more ironic because it's in rainbow colors, given everything? Yeah. Do I think that this, regardless of what the Morse code says, is absolutely stunning? Oh my God, it so is. And that's blowing it. I'm like literally just stitching it on a cream color Ada in 18 count. But those colors are just, oh, they're stunning. Stunning. This is a small pattern. It's like 102 by 104 or 100 by 102. I mean, that's a fairly small pattern for me. Do I love it? This? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. So that's all of my stitching. So, things that I am hoping to do this week. 1, to keep working on Kay and Dennis. 2, obviously to pack and drive down to Ohio for StitchCon. 3, have fun at StitchCon and actually sort of relax. I am slated to start Library of the Dogs by Amy Stewart, which I absolutely love. I have my fabric. I haven't put a stitch in it yet. That is another full coverage by Heaven and Earth Designs. So yeah. So I will likely take, okay, so as of right now, I'm going to take the periodic table. I'm going to take 4th of July rules. I have to pick up the Krynex or Petite Treasure braids for Lady Justice and more Bradley balloons. I will likely also take Monopoly and Kay and Dennis. That's a lot. Do I plan on ringing the bell? Nope. Nope. Is that okay? Absolutely. So yeah, other than that, that's about it. That's all I got. I will likely take show and tell. I think I'm going to take Rosie for show and tell for the brag table. I have not framed it yet, and I don't think that matters. I've taken other pieces that. Have I taken other things that are not framed? No, because I don't think I don't know. It doesn't matter. People show up with stuff not framed all the time for the brag tape. I'm going to take Rosie with me. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of go and have fun. Because God knows I'll be putting in the work before then for my clients, which is fine. I am entitled to a couple of days off where I am not at everybody's beck and call. And that's okay. So yeah. So yeah, there we are. That's all. So I don't know what else to tell you. We're just gonna keep pushing along and keep taking care of stuff and hopefully making things happen. So with that, remember, you are smart. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are needed. You are wanted. You are loved. You are cherished. You are important. Or you matter. With that, sending you guys all the love and all the greatness that you deserve. And if you need me, reach out to me on Instagram at His Princess Kelly, and we'll go from there. If not, we'll see you guys next week after the StitchCon. So in reality, next Sunday, I may not come home right away and film. I may just wait till that next day. I know that next day is already kind of crazily booked with stuff, but that's okay. So, yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, y'all.